Hey, welcome everybody. Happy Monday. Super blessed to be on this live Zoom with you all. And not only this is Zoom, but this whole journey, this 90-day run that we're going to be experiencing. I know yesterday we were just doing a pre-launch to really get you guys excited, and not just to get you guys excited, but to really share with you the possibilities of what a platform like this can do for you when you stay focused and you run and you stay committed and consistent. And not just what it can do, but like how it's changed like people's lives that ran with something very similar last year, and that what we were talking about yesterday. But happy to have you all. Thank you for taking the time. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Miss Meaghan Monroe, Coach Monroe. I have met Meaghan quite a few years ago. And I have to say, she has such an amazing heart. She definitely, like we talked about in the last call, she really helped me come back into this space when I took a very long break from social media. And not only did she, help me just not come back into the space, she kind of helped me find my voice again. She really pumped me up and was like, sis, remember who you are. Remember you're a goddess. Remember you're that leader. And it was something that I really needed to hear, because sometimes, you can really lose yourself in this industry, especially when you're running super hard and you're building and everything. And that's the type of woman Meaghan is. She will definitely have you leveling up to your greatest self. So Miss Monroe, can you hop on, love, and share your testimony? Because I know it's super powerful.
Hey, Queen. Oh my gosh. Guys, literally, this is so exciting for me because it's like a divine appointment that has been in the works for years. And I have gone through so much, and I know Monique has gone through so much, and we've grown through so much. And, one of the biggest things that derailed me most recently was in 2020 when COVID first hit. I have natural occurring asthma. And during the pandemic, my son usually goes to stay with my mom for 3 weeks during the summer. I was a single mom. I am now happily in a relationship. Drop a ring in the chat because I got my man. But manifestation does work. That's all I got to say, guys. But in 2020, I was sitting there and I was in a place where, I'm worn out. And so my son goes off to my mom and I'm rested, but I had this this bronchial infection going on. And all of a sudden, that bronchial infection turned into a double respiratory infection, which turned into a double lung infection. And that double lung infection is something called pneumonia. And so I was hospitalized for that. And then the pandemic started to break out. And so I was hospitalized for that. I had just started my art shop. Everything was going super successful. I was like doing bigger things than I had done in a long time because I had stepped out of network marketing. So I was all by myself. And I literally got so sick and I was in and out of the hospital for 4 months. I lost everything, all the money I had in savings. I had to liquidate assets, cryptocurrency. All my money-making activities stopped because I was the center of everything. I was the one spinning 1,000 plates at the same time. I instructed everything. I created everything. I took care of my son. And so when I stopped, my whole world stopped. And there was nothing there to compensate me. There was nothing there to take care of me. I depleted my savings, keeping myself alive. My mom had my son for 4 months. My son barely wanted to talk to me on the phone. I had 2 to 4 hours of waking hours every single day. And guys, the last thing that came to my mind when I was in the hospital, the last time before I started getting well, was I was laying there and I was like, I can't die with all this information in my head. I had learned so much. I had been made $1 million multiple times before I was 25. I was like, what is this life that I've created? And I didn't want God to give me a second chance. I didn't really feel like I deserved one. But I asked God, don't let me die without giving away this information. And shortly after, I found a health and wellness regimen that taught me how to eat right. And I was able to give my body what it needed to turn me around. And so I started healing. And shortly after, Monique was crazy enough to jump into this crazy thing, this smart contract. And I was in cryptocurrency. I knew about NFTs. I was in that space. But I was so exhausted. Thinking about the charts just made me want to go crazy. Right. And Monique was doing this crypto thing. And I looked at her and I was like, you know what? If she can get back up from what I saw her fall from the first time, and she can take on something like that and make $13,000 in 10 days, then I can do it too. That's all it took. I was like, then I can do it too. And I knew there was a little fire in me. It was like a little tea light candle, guys. That's as big as my little light shined at the time. But I thought I could, and I thought I could, and I thought I could. And little did I know, 3 months went by. I earned $50,000. $50,000. It's not the crazy amount. Some of these girls, Monique, earned $500,000. Okay. Like, but $50,000 for me, I am an investor, y'all. I had that thing flipping like it was a circus monkey. I made so much money with that $50,000. I turned my life around completely. I built up Wealthy Women Enterprises. I raised an entire corporation from the ground in 12 months because of the opportunity that I went when I looked at Monique and I saw that she could do it. She knew nothing about cryptocurrency. If I had a background, I was in a little better place than she was. And look what I created. And so now I'm here. And, when that opportunity went away because the market's fees got so big, we had to let it down for a little while. And we got this one, and there's products and financial literacy, and all these leaders are coming back together to do the same thing. And we actually knew how to do it. That was the best part, is like, it literally was just a pattern that we followed. And so I'm so excited that we're here today and that we have come back together and that we're going to do that 90-day run again. But this time we're even ahead of ourselves, and we've got a plan together, and we know what we're going to do, and we can duplicate that. And that's so exciting because God prophetically showed me where we're going as a community in the next few days and in the next few months. And it is bigger than I think any of you could ever imagine, not because of some miraculous income claim, but because of the timing that we're on. Tomorrow is 2/22/2022. I know you guys know how big of a day that is, but I wouldn't think of a better way to start it with us launching and declaring that we're going to chase after our 90 days of us, right? So thank you guys. Just want to share my story. I don't know if I got a little long-winded there. I haven't shared my story in forever, so that was kind of brave of me. But I love you, Mo, and I can go ahead and get started unless Vida is here and she wishes to share.
Yeah, I don't think Vita's on. I messaged her. So go ahead and get started unless you had any of your other girls that were supposed to share tonight. Otherwise you can go ahead and get started, babe.
Okay, Queen. Guys, give me just 1 second.
Do you need me to make you host?
No, I'm not going to do, I was going to do a presentation, and then we actually got to do the coolest thing. So we're doing a global meditation with unify.org, which is one of the biggest global meditation communities in the world. And you know how we're doing the bank with the Maori Nation out of Aotearoa, which is New Zealand. They're actually where the sun comes up first. And so they'll start the global meditation at 2:22 their time, which is in just a couple minutes. And so we actually introduced the chief to the guy doing the global meditation. And so they're planning that right now. And I'm just sitting here with you guys and watching God work. And it's so beautiful and so amazing. But guys, so that being said, I just have a notebook and I'm going to go through this training, you guys. And this is going to be how you enter a state of attracting wealth to you. And I'm going to go quick. I'm not going to be as long-winded as yesterday, so bear with me and drop some fire in the chat if you're ready for me to drop these gems, because I don't know what it's been lately, but everything's coming out clear and concise, and I'm so excited, you guys, to share this with you, because this is exactly what I do every single time I'm about to shift my paradigm, every time I'm about to unlock my matrix. This is what I do, the exact practice that is duplicated and made me every single dollar that I've ever earned. Okay. So the very first thing is you have to know yourself. And this is hard because humans, we like to tell ourselves false truths. We hide from ourselves. We get shame. I feel guilt, shame. I didn't look at my credit score for the longest time because, the time that I went through a divorce, the time that I left my home, the time that I had my first car taken away when I got sick because I was pregnant, I had all these things that happened and I didn't really like who I was. And so I had kind of lived in an illusion for a little while. And I had to wake up from that illusion when life hit and I had my son. I had to wake up from that illusion. And so first you have to know yourself. You have to be willing to look at yourself in the mirror, and you have to be willing to say to that person, I love you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. And I'm sorry. When you say those things to yourself, you acknowledge everything that you've gone through. And when you acknowledge everything that you've gone through, You get access to every state of mastery you've ever came to get out of things. Have you guys ever just gone through something and you don't know how the heck you got through it? You just did it. And that was like the most craziest thing. That is the state that you're coming to. Okay. Is when you get a full understanding of what resourceful version of you that you became in that moment. So the very first step is defining your desire. Write it down. Define your desire. You have to know what you want. And some of you guys, this may be your second or third run and you're kind of burnt out. And I want to tell you something. Doing it for your kids, that's not going to work this time. Doing it for your husband, doing it for that, to retire your husband or to bring your wife home, it's not going to work this time. This one has to be from your heart, for your purpose, for your life's calling. This one, because when you focus on that inner you, this is what I call the self-centered life. It's not selfish, it's being centered on self. Because when you're centered on self, then you get true access. You get to unlock the version of you that you want to magnify into your life. When you can define your desire, what you truly came here to do, you unlock unrealistic access to potential and power. And so the first thing you have to do is start asking yourself, what do I want? Where am I at right now? And where do I want to be? Define your desire. The second thing, and we talked about this yesterday, y'all, identify what you're willing to sacrifice. Now, everybody loves to talk about what they want. Everybody loves to talk about getting green lights and gold coins, okay? And Bitcoins, okay? But nobody wants to talk about when they sacrifice in they red vines or that Red Bull or that, living in that 2-bedroom house with 4 kids instead of that 5-bedroom house for a little while, because you got to work on your savings. And so you have to live below your means for a little while so you can build up. Nobody wants to talk about what they're willing to sacrifice. And the reason why we're going to win and the reason why we're going to dominate these next 90 days is because we're going to be willing to sacrifice the things that no longer align with the state of wealth and abundance that we are going to assume. You have to get to a place and position to where you are willing to let it go. You have to let go of the bad habits. You have to let go of the excessive TV. You know that you deserve the time spent with yourself face to face in the mirror. You know that you deserve to start building your own dreams when you're spending every other second of your life making sure everyone else has theirs. Mama, you can't be taking care of those babies every single day and not be taking care of the dreams and the destiny that God brought you here on this earth. That is the biggest lie. And dads, working your life away. That is the biggest lie. You guys have to be willing to identify what you're going to sacrifice. If that's one less hour of sleep so you can wake up and be with yourself, you need to do it. Number 3, pick your champion. And guys, I'm sorry, I'm going here, but I feel led to go here because we're making a huge declaration, which means we have to come at this with truth. So I'm not going to apologize for it being uncomfortable or a little heavy at times, because we're about to laugh so hard for the next 90 days. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, but we're going to tell the truth to each other right now, because I would rather have friends that tell me the truth and elevate me and help sharpen me and refine me than friends that will lie to me and let me stay where I'm at. So I feel led to just share this. And I hope that I have y'all's permission to just pour this out on you, because it's all with love. Know that I'm talking to myself too. Okay. So number 3 is pick your champion. And you guys, when I was in foster care, Grant Cardone, and you guys will, if you ever been with me on Clubhouse, Christy knows, Grant Cardone, I'm where he's at. I'm there and I'm talking to him as much as I can. And I'm learning from him as much as I can, because when I was in foster care, this man had a book that he did called the 10X rule. And I learned that this little hood girl could come up if I just worked hard. And then so I started making little plans. I didn't know much, right? I didn't have much insight. I didn't have schooling. I didn't have a proper raising. Okay. But I stood up and I did 10 times the work that I thought I would have to do. And guess what? Some really nice, successful people, they had mercy on me along the way, y'all. These really nice, successful people recognize that high level state of performance from people like them, right? My only example of excellence was Grant Cardone and Jesus, y'all. So I worked hard. I picked champions that whenever I turn to the word of God, I can get myself up. Or whenever I go on YouTube and I listen to a Grant Cardone video for 10 minutes, if I get down, like this is how I cure myself from my depression, you guys. Every time that I got down, I lit a candle. I got my salt lamp. I touched my salt lamp. I would put my feet in the water. I would do the essential oils in the water. The room would stand. I would do the tea, Grant Cardone for 10 minutes, and bam, I pop myself. It's called systematic ascension. You pop yourself back into a better state of being. Guys, nature gives us everything that we need. And so when you find the person who can be your champion in those moments where you feel like you're going in the dip of your flow state and your ego needs attention, you have your champions to rip you from that illusion and bring you back to what made you start in the first place, your desire. Now, the fourth one. So we had define your desire. We had identify what you're willing to sacrifice. We have pick your champion. All right. Now, the fourth one is my favorite part, because you do not get a bank account. You do not have a baby. You do not get a car. You don't get a house. You don't buy a house without a contract. You can't do nothing. You can't get married without a contract. Okay. So why do you not have a contract with yourself on how you're going to perform for your dreams? Okay. So now that you've defined what you want, you're going to write that in your contract. You're going to identify, you're going to say, I'm willing to pay a seed of this Netflix time, a seed of this junk food, a seed of this thing that I do that takes up too much time. And I'm going to put those down as a deposit on my inheritance, a deposit on what I'm getting back in the form of manifestation, because of the efforts and consistency that I'm going to be performing. And I'm going to carry the likeness of Grant Cardone. And so what we'll get into more when I'm training you guys about doing market research and building your audiences is that when you pick your champion, you actually research how they perform and got where they are. Why? Because you want to be the likeness of them. That's why you can have people who become prodigies of this person. You know, LeBron James literally just said he is playing his last season with his son, Bronny, wherever he's at, because he's reached a state of mastery. And so when you guys get to a place where you picked your champion, you start elevating. And now in your plan, you're saying, this is my business plan. I know what I want. This is what I'm running for. I know where I'm going. Then I'm going to sacrifice this, and I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to follow these habits. And my Facebook page is going to be like this. My courses are going to be like this. This is how my funnel is going to go, because I looked up all these people that I admire to be like, and I have the blueprint. And now every time I'm sad, I'm going to light the candle. I'm going to put the song on. I'm going to listen to Grant Cardone. I'm going to do this. So now I've got a systematic ascension blueprint, and I'm going to commit to that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 10 to 1. And I'm going to work my business those hours. And then you sign the bottom line. That is how you take yourself seriously. How many of you guys have ever sat down and write a contract with yourself about how you're going to perform for you in your business? Yet every single other person you've ever worked for in a day of your life, including your baby, okay, mama, you have signed a contract for. Okay? So let's just get you in alignment with a commitment to yourself. Okay? I'm going to stop preaching here in a second. I promise. They kicked me out of the church, so I got to start on Zoom calls. Okay? You guys, I'm just kidding. So now that you know yourself, this is where you get to go lead gen. This is where you get, God said, he's gonna make you fish as a man. Well, I'm gonna make you fish as a man too. That's my anointing, y'all. You guys been seeing my virality on my page lately. Oh my goodness. I got it down to an art and I love it. It's so fun. And I want to infuse that in you. And you know, you have some great leaders in here that content create, some great leaders who have amazing income producing activities. And I'm so excited to combine like all the leadership that you get with this team and the methods that I know work really well. Because when I tell you all about to be some super affluencers, not influencers. Influencers are people who persuade people to make decisions or habits. You guys are affluencers. You're people who have assumed a state of wealth, and therefore you affect the people who come around you, because the state that you hold holds a likeness to who they know they should aspire to be. And it's so much more powerful. So now that you know yourself, you're going to know your audience. because now that you know who is going to be attracted to you. So we go through, most people, they focus on, when they're running paid ads on Facebook, they're running demographic. It's like, okay, they have an Apple phone, they work at Microsoft, they have this table, their income is, 30 to 45,000 a year. Wow, that's crazy. That's people's incomes. I just had to check with reality, you guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is crazy. I'm sorry, you guys. That's heavy. You guys are some powerful, brave people. You know that? You guys are some powerful and brave people that you come by and you take what you've known your best to do and you've gotten it. And that's the thing that I love about Americans, is Americans, they're just doing the best with what they got. And I want to say, the demographic aspect of just these basic things, that's why this old system that they've built of consumerism is outdated, because there's more to humans than just being a number and a statistic. And so the way that I've set up the viral organic lead generation, I'm going to be teaching you guys, and how your audience is, well, now you know what their demographic is, but their psychographic, the things that develop them. Did they have one mom in the house, or did they have a mom in the house? Did they have siblings? Do they love art? Did they get exposed to music? What culture did they grow up? These things are how you attract people. Behavior analysis, did they grow up in the country? Were they able open air, or were they in the city? These things where they don't take into consideration the fact that we're human beings with hearts and minds and souls, and we develop based off of our experience, right? And the last is geological location. Some people are trying to sell bikinis in the middle of the Arctic. Why? It doesn't make sense, right? That one's ridiculous, I know. But when you guys combine demographic, psychographic, behavioral analysis, and geological location together, you get a hyper audience that is based off of the same likeness, right, of your champion, and that goes in alignment with what you desire. And in these exercises I'm going to teach you over the next 12 weeks, is it helps you identify keywords, right? There's keywords that define your type of psychographic. For me personally, I am very spiritual minded. I like researching like cool knowledge that is related to mysteries. I like to follow, information that goes for generations and generations, that is consistent, and see why society behaves the way that it does. And so when you get to a place where you're able to analyze different elements, people are attracted to you because you understand who they are when they come to you. A jack of all, I'm going to say the saying that changed my life. Christy's heard this 100 million times. So Christy, I know it's good. I'm sorry, but it's good. I'm going to say it every time. So how many of you guys have heard the saying, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes, so a jack of all trades is a master of none. How many of you guys have heard that saying? A jack of all trades is a master of none. Put a 111 in the comments. Okay. So let me tell you something. There's a second part of that saying. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. Let me say it again. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. But oftentimes better, you guys. Why? Because when you are someone who's tried everything, and you've had to come up from the bottom, and now you here, honey. Okay, you made it. You have arrived. You can relax. Okay, but you started from the bottom, and you had to do every single thing you could. Some of y'all can make salsa and tamales, and some of y'all can sew, and some of y'all can do hair, and some of y'all can do nails, and some of y'all built tracksuits, and some of y'all had a whole farm and garden and chicken, and some of y'all were supporting 5 households. Some of y'all were living with your family members. Some of y'all were in a situation that no, there's more to that. Let me explain that in a minute. But some of y'all were in situations and circumstances where you had to try everything. And it took you to a place where you could respect someone who's gone through things that were hard. And you can respect a master when you see one, right? Because when you're a jack of all trades and you try everything to build yourself, you're self-made, you bootstrapped, you recognize how hard things are. And when you get to the top, Someone who gets the top millionaires, you can get to 7 figures on your own. It's hard. You can get to 7 figures on your own with some good technology, right? But getting past 7 figures, you have to have a team. And that was what I had to learn when I came out of that hospital and jumped into Forsage. And I was able to link arms with Monique and Michaela and Vita. And I watched how these girls work together, and our ecosystem started to blast off because we had each other. And that's the thing, guys. You don't need some fancy corporation. You don't need some crazy product. No one has the financial literacy that we're talking about here today. And so you guys are the early adopters. We're waking up a world to a new type of way to understand financial literacy, a new type of way to build wealth. This is the Industrial Revolution. And you guys are the first ones to be here and the first ones to open up yourselves to a state of understanding where you can just be a magnet to wealth if you grasp these concepts. And I know it's a lot, and we're going to go into way more details during our 90-day run. But the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys, and I do share it sometimes in the chat, is the bank code. So we're going to learn about ATM, which is add tag message, which is how you print money all day with Facebook groups. And we've got the bank code, which is how you unlock people's money button, is what I like to say, by personalities. So there's the blueprint type personalities. They're the ones that have to know everything about what's going on. They feel really secure when they see a plan. They like itineraries. They like instructions, time zones, maps, calendars. I am not a blueprint type personality. You guys know that I'm always late. Action type personality. That's a Christy Jensen right there. She will show up and she's going to run 100 miles an hour. Monique is very much an action type personality too, but she's nurture as well, which is the next one. And so when she is getting excited and she wants to take an action, and someone's willing to say to her, Monique, I'm going to be fiercely in your corner, girl, run this play. Monique is going to get down and dirty in 15 seconds and she's going to get the job done knowing she's got backup. Okay. Cause she's an action nurture, right? Then there's the knowledge type. And Michaela, she loves to correlate data. She likes to collect information, see how things run the most efficiently. And that's how she contributes to the team, right? Well, when you're prospecting with people and you know who you are, right? You've identified your audience. You're able to figure out what your audience looks like based off of the things you've gone through and who you want to hang out with, right? Because your audience doesn't necessarily have to be a giant group of people. Your audience can be people that are just like you, that go through the same things, that you actually have something to share with them. That's the problem with traditional network marketing up until this point, is people haven't been in their dynamics and their culture, and they're been able to be like anything but this one type of thing. And so now that people can just let this stuff be their everyday thing, because the pandemic has opened so much curiosity, guys, for offline opportunities, we have the perfect time to come and take advantage of these wealth coaching products that we unlock with the levels, as well as the financial literacy of learning cryptocurrency that they get when they come into the matrix, right? They get to rock it because they had someone like you who was an early adopter, who took this seriously and was able to guide them through this. And so, for me, I had to go through a lot of psychological stuff because I was like the only girl back then that was even in crypto. And I was in this giant Facebook group with strangers, and they were all men, and they were like people and their moms. That's who I learned to do cryptocurrency. Like, you guys get us pretty girls, like could there be a better way for us to do this? Like, come on, you guys, give me some fire in the chat. I'm done. I'm literally done. I promise. I hope that I didn't go too long, guys. I know I probably get tired of listening to me, but I just wanted to bring you some fire on the type of how you develop your mind and how you wrap it around what you want your relationship with your audience to be like, because the worst thing ever is feeling like an imposter in your own creation. When you build something so big and you don't feel like you fit there, it makes you feel so lonely. But if you know what you're building and why you're building it and who you want to build it with, and you've clearly defined that in a contract with yourself, and you know exactly what actions you're going to take every single day, doesn't that sound easy? It's not hard, is it? Come on. It's not hard. Can I get a 222 in the chat if you're going to launch tomorrow with me like crazy when we show up at our official launch call tomorrow at the same time on 2/22/2022, right? When we unlock the portal and we shift the world and we open it with love and wealth and abundance at the same time together. And you guys So
Oh,
we have
amazing.
decided, reason to invite the people that they've talked to. So we're actually going to be giving away $300 in B&B. We're going to help, I think that's 6 people, right? Get started tomorrow. So bring your prospects to our call. It's not going to be so much coaching style. This one, we're going to explain to you how we're going to kick off the 90-day run. And then tomorrow when we do our call and we open the portal and we open the same intention together in agreement with each other that we're going to keep going consistently, right? Consistently. And we're going to get this thing done. Monique, if there's anything you want.
Hey, love. No, that was great. Vita actually hopped on. So I did want her to.
I feel like I opened up my whole bit of information. You're going to be power play, and I'll hand it back over to you.
Okay, hun. Sorry. I think there might have been like a voice lag or something that was going on. But I want to go ahead and bring on Vita real quick. I do want her to share with you because this is why we want to share this is we want to share the possibilities, like, what this platform can do if you commit yourself to 90 days, head down, stay focused and run. And we're all running together. So I'm going to have Vita come on and she's just going to share where she was at before she came into the crypto space, about 2 or 3 minutes, Vita, and then how that the smart contracts change your life, and then we'll close it out, and then we'll go ahead and send the recording. So Vita, if you can unmute yourself, love.
Hey, hi everybody. Thank you guys for letting me. I had some technical difficulties and I couldn't get in earlier, but I'm excited to be here today. And oh my gosh, I know you guys are probably so pumped up after hearing just the last 2 days of hearing the excitement. You can tell that everybody is fired up, ready for this 90-day run. But guys, I got into the crypto space about 1.5 years ago on our last project in Forsage, and I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing about crypto. All I knew is that I had heard about Bitcoin before. I knew a couple of friends who had some, and that was all I knew. I seen Monique, on social media, and we've always continued. We've known each other for years, and have always continued to stay friends on social media. And I seen her posting, and I didn't know what she was doing, but I knew that she was making a lot of money. And I was like, and I had hit her up, and I was like, dude, what is this? I don't even know what it is, but I want to do it. And she was like, girl, you got to get in. And I still continued to wait. Waited a few weeks before I actually jumped on board. And at this time when I got in, I mean, I'm not, like I always say, I don't come from MLM, from network marketing, anything like that. I'm a hair and makeup artist. And so I do bridal hair and makeup. I've owned my own salon and business. And so it's something totally different than anything like this. And when I came into this platform, I seen immediately how it worked. And at that time, my husband was battling COVID, dying from, his diabetes, heart failure, kidney failure. He was in ICU for about a month. And I was so determined because I needed something that was going to change our financial situation. And I wanted to bring him home without him having to stress about anything financially. And when I came into the crypto space, I literally just watched. And I think I stayed silent for a couple of weeks. And after that, when I seen how this worked, I ran and never looked back. I did everything I could to educate myself. I did everything I needed to. I was on every call. I was like, there was no way that you were going to catch me not following pursuit. I had to get in alignment with what was taking place, and had no excuse. Every single day, even when I wasn't making money, I promoted like I was making money. I had to literally put in my mind that I was already a millionaire. I was already, a 6-figure earner, 7-figure earner. Like when you think that way, it doesn't seem so far. It doesn't seem unachievable. But when you surround yourself with people who are on the same mindset and in the same headspace that you're in, you're going to begin to see the transformation within you. And then it's going to spread to the people who you share this with. One thing that I've always done is kept everything, no matter what, even in the times where, like I said, I had no people would not notice that on my social media. Like one thing I am so grateful for is that even in the times that it was slow and we stopped the other project, I was still running like if I was, in Forsage still. And the reason why is because people are watching you. One thing you got to understand about these projects is people are waiting and they're waiting for them to be able to turn to you and tell you, see, I told you it was a scam. See, I told you it was going to fall off. See, I told you it wasn't going to work. People are waiting for that. And so when you can sit there in the midst of adversity and people coming against what you're doing and you believe so strongly in, they're going to become believers. And this time around, I have had so many people come to me and tell me, oh my God, I was so skeptical last time, but I seen what it did for you. And there's no way that I'm going to allow myself to miss out this year. So guys, one thing that I just, really want to encourage you, stay consistent, stay committed, and stay teachable. Like those are literally the 3 things that you need. And if you do those things, even in the mid, trust me, there's going to be days that you feel discouraged. There's going to be days where there's not going to be anybody. There's going to be a couple days like where you're just like, dude, nobody's inquired. Nobody's asked me anything. Like, is this not going to work? And that's not it. You got to remember, it takes people, 10 times, they say 10 times for them to see something, to actually be interested in what you have to offer to them. So just stay consistent, stay excited. This next 90 days, I keep telling everybody 90 days. In 90 days, we're going to make 6 figures. Each and every one of us, we are going to do it. It can happen. We've done it before. And if we can do it, I know that all of you can do it. And I'm so excited. Thank you, Monique and Megan, for having me. And yeah, that's my start.
Love it. Thank you so much, Vita, for sharing. Yes, I'm super excited, everybody. Like I said, 90 days can completely change your entire life and do a whole 360. And I know that sounds cliche, and I know a lot of people have said that before, but like legit. It can completely be a 360, and it happened to us all last year. So I'm excited. We're going to go ahead and end this call because I don't want to keep it too long. We got our call tomorrow. This is our launch call for our 90-day run tomorrow. We're going to have some awesome speakers sharing, and just keep up the momentum. Let's lean on each other. We're creating a community. We're creating posture here. Let's lean on each other. Let's work together, and let's build this and help people learn about financial literacy with all the crypto education and financial literacy we got here with LXP. So I'm super excited. Commit to this 90-day run, commit to being consistent to you. And I promise you, you will see a huge difference in the wealth that you're going to obtain. Remember, wealth loves consistency. Wealth loves high vibrations. So love and light, everybody. Put fire emojis in the chat if you are committing to this 90-day run. And I will see everybody tomorrow, because trust and believe, I'm going to be making sure everybody that is committed is on tomorrow.
So really quick. So I have just put up our status, and I said this call is fire. So you guys need to run over to my wall, Meaghan Monroe on Facebook, and go drop fire emojis in the chat and let everybody know how fire this call was. Why? Because they are watching to see. They are watching to see the momentum. And guess what? That fire, they get so excited because we're about to start a wildfire. It's contagious up in here, you guys. So let's go spread that energy. And I will see you tomorrow, where we are doing a $300 giveaway. 6 people are going to be recruited, and that could be one of your people. So give them the opportunity, give them the gift of the wealth of showing up and listening to our meeting tomorrow night at the same time, guys. We will see you later.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Vita. Thank you, everybody that hopped on. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed evening.